Are there aspects to your day that you feel as if you're just, checking the box? Do you ever strive to reach out of your comfort zone, become uncomfortable, and level up? Privileged to be your host, this is Jason Wabick. Now, let's uncheck the box. A great day to everybody out there. Again, my name is Jason Wabick, host of the Uncheck the Box podcast, where today we celebrate our journey together in the quest of being the best versions of ourselves that we can possibly be. Yes, I did switch it up. We say today we celebrate. It is a new year, so let me take this opportunity to wish everybody out there a happy 2022 and all things that are going to come your way. Both good and bad, right? We celebrate both. So today, kind of wanted to just shoot from the hip. I've got no show notes, no agenda, and all I wanted to do is just quickly do a year in review, some highlights, some quick bullet points as I kind of scroll through the year that was 2021. You know, the year that started with just an idea that I had. You know, I had a computer, I have a mic, and I had a want to just start a project, right? In the quest of bettering myself, and I guess I can say I successfully have done that. And all the kind words that have come my way throughout the year, some people coming up to me and calling me, texting me when they see me in person, thanking me and saying great job and how much the quick podcast every week has helped their life and inspired them as well too. So, you know, in my quest of being a better version of me, and I share it with all of you, and then you share it back to me. So again, I say it every week. I can't appreciate you more than I do right now. So 2021, you know, we did 39 episodes. Wasn't the 52. I ran into definitely some hurdles, you know, running a full-time family, full-time job. You know, I did my very best. Could I have worked a little bit harder? Sure, maybe. I guess we could always be hard on ourselves, right? But 39 solid episodes with some thought, with some time preparing for them, right? These weren't just like shoot from the hip like this one here. So let's start way back in January of 2021. Our first episode was all about changing our perception of uncomfortable. It was a 15-minute episode that was the most interacted with. It was the most listened to. And I wanted to start with that topic because for those listeners out there, you know, they had heard that was the MO of the entire year and still will continue to be. It's all about throwing ourselves into uncomfortable situations. I probably brought that up dozens of times throughout the year because it really does transcend in a lot of different areas that we could focus on, but definitely changing our perception of what it means to be uncomfortable, right? And to start to change our thought process as to, you know what? This is probably where I need to be right now. If I feel uncomfortable, it's probably the exact thing I need to be feeling if it means that I want to get better and I want to grow. Then we moved on to talking about various different routines that we can add into our life, a morning routine, an afternoon routine, and an evening routine. Ladies and gentlemen, things that I'm still working on to this very single day. You know, maybe we'll always be finding ways to better my day and to maximize my day and level up my day, right? But there's no question about it that adding an element of routine to our morning and our afternoon and truly our evening will help you be at your very best and perform at your very best. Then we moved on. We talked about different episodes that were involved around feelings, you know, what it means to be annoyed and how to react to that, right? Taking a step back, and if you feel yourself getting annoyed, right, just reassess everything before you react. Okay, assess the situation, process it. Define what the actual reality is, because your gut's going to tell you one thing, but after you process what's actually going on, you'll find that it might be slightly different than what you had thought. And it'll actually make a huge difference as to how you react to that annoyance, if you will, right? Take a little bit of, let's see here. It takes some time. I'm trying to read through my phone here. It takes some effort plus a little bit more. So it's all about, one-upping, right? If you think you're doing enough, do more. Your brain on point, the power of mental strength and how powerful the mind can affect our reality, right? Defining our core purpose. Why do we do what we do every single day? Why do we get up? We get ourselves dressed, we go to work, and we do what we do. What is driving us? And money is not the answer. Money is a means, right? We all need, obviously, to make an income to provide for our families and our lifestyle. But what's driving you? What's your motivation? Great episode. Procrastination, how detrimental that can be, how much of a buzzkill that can be to our day and our routines. Reasonable expectations, setting reasonable expectations. Great episode back in March. Time management versus priority management. It's probably one of the top things that I teach every single day about how important it is not only to manage your time appropriately, but to set good priorities and manage your priorities as well. You can be busy every single day, but you can be busy doing the wrong things or the less important things. Are you prioritizing correctly? Those activities that gain you the better results, that help you get to your final end goal much quicker. Are you planning both of them? Get up at 5 a.m. Are you crazy? It's going back to that morning routine, but I focused on how powerful 5 a.m. it really is. And I got to tell you, everybody, one thing that I've really been working on, it's almost a point right now, I turn into a pumpkin at night. I've carved out my evening routine, and obviously that bleeds into the next morning's morning routine. But I turned into a pumpkin. Here I am. It was like 9:30, 10 o'clock. I knew I was not going to make the ball drop at New Year's Eve, or at least I was going to be fighting the whole way. Of course, I did get up for the ball drop. My family was around the TV, and I was in the family room, but I was nodding in and out of consciousness, right? Said I'm really starting to feel like I'm getting old. But no, it's because I get up at that 5:30 hour. Because I know I am on point, and a lot of my creative work is done in the morning when the rest of the world is sleeping. Emotional contagion. How contagious emotions are. I loved this one. I referred to this episode quite a bit in some of my training workshops that I hold. Because negativity is contagious as well as positivity is contagious. Which one are you portraying out there? Are you part of the negative or are you part of the positive? And be careful, because if somebody is negative and you're going to encounter that throughout your day and your week, are you letting it affect you? Are you getting infected because that other person is contagious? See, this is an infection that we have a choice and we can control, and we are the vaccine, and we could say, no, you're not going to come into me. You're not going to take this over. Celebrate failure as well as successes. Celebrating both, right? We're going to have both. Celebrate both. Your failures are how you learn and grow and get better. So learn from them. Celebrate them. Own them. And move on. I just don't have it in me today. We all feel like that. So what can we do when we feel sluggish and we just don't feel driven? Right? So that was very, very insightful in ways that we can, in moments of not feeling driven, that we could move on. Are you the thermostat or the thermometer? I love metaphors, right? Are you just taking the temperature, or are you defining the temperature? You become what you think and say. Our thoughts are one thing, but when our thoughts become our the verbal words we choose, then that becomes, again, part of our reality. We shape our reality And it starts with our thoughts. But again, it's another thing to say it. Once you start saying it, then it's your reality. So it's believing it, thinking it, saying it. Again, in that episode, I used a story where a sales consultant sat with me and was looking for some coaching. And the first thing that he said is, he was like, all right, I suck at this. I said, well, then I can't help you. Because if you're thinking it, you believe it, you think it, now you're speaking it, that is your reality. I can't change that until you start thinking differently and ultimately speaking differently. So very important, everybody. What you think and say ultimately defines who you are. Surround yourself with influential people. I think that goes without saying. How important is self-confidence? Are you down with the gratitude? Spreading and sharing gratitude every single day and how powerful that can be. I've added this year, one of my girls, is I found ways every single day to express gratitude. And it's something I actually pencil in the morning time. You know, it's really made a difference. It sets out my day on the right foot. And in my ways that I've chosen to express gratitude, really, not only does it make you feel good, it makes others feel good as well. Watch out. It will sneak up on you. You know what? I'll be honest with you. I'm reading through these episodes, and sometimes I got creative with my titles. I can't remember. Actually, I told you I was spitballing this one. I was doing this episode off the hip, and it's this part of getting old. My memory's skipping me on that one. Show up for yourself every single day. There you go. That's a good one. You owe it to yourself, right? You don't owe it to anybody else, and everybody else doesn't owe anything to you. You are held accountable to you, so show up every single day for you. No, not every day is going to be perfect, but you owe it to yourself. So lean into it. Don't just get through the day, get from the day. At least persevere. And you never know what's going to happen. You're never going to win every day, but you certainly have more of a choice than you might think. The value of strong relationships, and that was an interview that I did with my best friend. I'm telling you, it was awesome. I remember that day very well. I remember the episode very well. And, you know, something I was just thinking about last week about how powerful it really is to have a close friend. I think I got a future episode coming up on something that he and I are doing. But I'll tell you what, accountability is key. You have a close friend like I do, and I'm super blessed. When you have a close friend like I do, you know, we ask each other for advice, right? But we ask each other to hold each other accountable, right? So he's got my back, I got his back. We exchange text messages, phone calls when we can. But having that strong relationship is definitely a game changer when it comes to being a better version of yourself. The episode I Am, it's an affirmation. I am this, I am that. You know, it's important to say that. I want to be that, right? And that's okay. But so many people say, I want to be this, I want to be that, but they're just living in a dream world, right? And they are always dreaming. Saying I am means that person's taking the necessary steps to start ultimately seeing themselves as their ideal self. So start saying that, I am. Even if you're not there yet, say I am, because you're starting to see it and believe it, and then ultimately achieving it. Highs and lows in life goes without saying. Thrive in the panic. There's many times in our life in which, you know, curveballs are thrown. We start to panic a little bit. And finding ways to thrive in that and be okay with those moments. We learn a lot about ourselves in those uncertain times, uneasy times. Mental exhaustion, mental exhaustion is a real thing. And in some cases, it's more exhausting than physical exhaustion. So in ways in which we can cope with that mental exhaustion, and obviously what are some of the good remedies out there to combat it? Be hard on yourself. Listen, everybody, I don't mean to be disingenuous with that title, but ultimately, if it's meant to be, it's up to me, right? Nobody else, I think I said it just a couple minutes ago, nobody else owes it to you. You know, maybe some people have your back, not everybody does. So be hard on yourself. Don't give yourself a hall pass. Excuses start to set in, and all you're doing is procrastinating and putting action on ice that may or may not ever come to fruition. The importance of accountability, visualizing success, seeing it. We talked about that just, again, a handful of minutes ago. If you can see it happen, you feel it, you start to speak it, think it, and then speak it. Persistence wears resistance. Just keep trying, just commonly used, right? Try and try again. Power of positivity. Exercise on the brain, how important exercising and daily exercise, how important that is for brain health and some of the benefits that it can give us, both physically and mentally. The importance of reflection. This is something I'm going to dabble in a little bit more this year in 2022. Reflecting on the day that was and also reflecting on what's coming up. What has happened in the past. Once you've reflected on it, leave it in the past. What's your game plan for tomorrow, for next week, and for the month? Reflection is going to be important. Again, no doubt a topic that I will be addressing in a little bit more detail. Instant gratification. Be careful. It was a great episode about, in today's society, it's all about the now, wanting it right now, all about what's happening in the right now. And we lose that long distance view. We don't put that wide angle lens on to kind of see the forest between the trees, right? And then we finished up the year, ended December, with that start, stop, and keep, which is a great way to start this year, right? We hopefully took a few days prior to the new year to create a start, stop, keep list. What are the things that we have to start doing? What are the things we have to stop doing? And what are the things that we ought to keep on doing? Because there are things that fit all three of those categories. And it's not just one or two, it's all three. Because each of us have things that can fit those categories. I know, again, I speak for myself. There's some things that I know I started to do last year, and I'm going to keep going. Like this podcast, for example. It was just a goal for mine last year. But I'm going to keep on going, right? And that's just to name one. There's certain things that I knew I had to stop and things going forward that I want to stop. And that I was successful last year and will be hopefully successful this year. And things I want to start doing. So probably more to come on that as the episodes go on. So everybody, listen, I hope it was a great year for you. I saw a lot of stuff on social media, and we got to be careful with that. As I saw a lot of memes out there with, trash bags and year 2021 on it, and people leaving it out at the curb. I get that, right? There was, there was a lot of stuff out in the world, no question about that, especially with this virus going on, and. I got to say, again, personally, there was a lot of growth that took place, so that was great. We tried to, not let the stresses of the world bog us down. It's all about knowing how to compartmentalize everything and take the good with the bad and move on and just, again, finding a way to not only make yourself better, but to make the world a better place. And that's through love, through gratitude, through serving, and finding just every which way that you can do to leave your mark, leave your legacy, and just be a better person and make somebody else better. Listen, if you haven't done so already, take 2022 is here. We're already a couple days in now, so we're off and running. Time is ticking. What are you going to do this year? What are the goals that you have for yourself personally and professionally? Are you on the right path? Have you set time aside to plan that out? What does your plan look like? What actions do you have to take? Have you started to do it already? If not, what are you waiting for? If you need a little bit of push, go back and listen to a couple of the episodes. A lot of good content out there. And no doubt I'll be doing that. That's for darn sure. So everybody, my friends, again, a very happy 2022. I wish everybody the best this year. I look forward to coming to this mic again as often as I possibly can to, again, learn and grow together. And we'll see what this year brings. So, everybody, I appreciate you. I appreciate the time that you spend here in the podcast world. And listen, all the best. And much growth to all of you. And let's have a great rest of your day. Even better rest of your week. And we will see you next time. Appreciate you, everybody.